says the night belongs to Jonquel Jones. She came off the bench for Team Spoon, but obviously she has nothing but starter skill set personified. How about that cut? Little spin move for the bucket. And then final minute of the first quarter, she's trailing, knocks down the three. That's almost a layup for her. Her squad was up 7, and then she gets the rebound, pass ahead to Courtney Williams, right there. And then Courtney pulls up for the jumper, so give that assist to Jonquel. She had 12.7 rebounds, 6 assists in the first half. Caitlin Clark passed it off to Jones for the three. They gave her 20. She's the first player to record multiple 20-point, 10-rebound outing in W All-Star Game history. We got about 4 minutes to play. Jonquel drives, misses, gets her own rebound. The dish to Ryan Howard for the jumper. So that's a rebound and an assist. And then right before the end of the game, Clark and Jones, a little two-man action. How about that pass? She wins MVP, 22 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists shy of a triple-double, and she gets the MVP, of course. How about a second-half preview from the WNBA studio crew?
All right, well, that's going to do it for WNBA All-Star Weekend, and what a weekend it's been alongside Monica McNutt, Andrea Carter, Shanae Ogumake, I'm Malika Andrews. Monica, the first half of the WNBA season is in the books, and yet there's still so much work to be done as we turn towards the second half of the season. What storylines are you keyed in on?
I want to know if the Dallas Wings and the Golden State Valkyries are legit, y'all. You look at those teams that each had all-star representation. Gabby Williams out of Golden State, and of course Jess Shepard and Paige Beckers for the Wings. They right now have 2 of the better records in the league overall. Does that mean that they will be one of the better seeded teams by the time we get to the playoffs? Their strength of schedule is favorable the second half of the way, y'all. I want to know if they are the real deal.
Okay, do you know who the real deal is right now? Number 1 in the standings, the Minnesota Lynx. The amount of apologies, the amount of I'm sorry's I've said to Minnesota fans, because going into a season without Nafisa Collier, who was in the MVP conversation, I said they might struggle, they might flounder, and then guess what happens? They just have a rookie sensation in Olivia Miles, 18.6 assists. They have 2 other All-Stars, which are amazing, Natasha Howard and of course Courtney Williams. And last but not least, Big Fee is back.
Yes,
she has come back. She's back, and it looks like she could potentially be better. First game back, dropping her new shoe.
Yep.
Also 24-10. The second half of the season, with their added depth, it could be a monstrous second half for the Minnesota Lynx.
Y'all talked about teams and being legit. You know one player that is always legit? A'ja Wilson.
Absolutely.
A'ja, what do you have to say to Wilson? Because she talked to us before the All-Star game and said sheer motivation is to continue to shut up her haters. And there is no better way to do that than winning her 5th MVP award. My eyes are on A'ja Wilson, and if she will win that 5th MVP award, or if someone will compete with her for that award. The next 2 closest players when it comes to the odds, Paige Beckers and Olivia Miles. It's been a while since a guard won the award, so I want to see what happens with the MVP race.
That's so fascinating to me because I think Paige Beckers will probably have the stronger case.
Right.
Olivia Miles, especially with Fee returning, just hear me out.
Okay.
With Fee returning, if she gets back to the form that Janae is mentioning, and you know, historically, Shell Reed teams just don't underachieve. Now, this has been impressive, but I agree, that's a watch to keep an eye on.
Those are good problems for the Minnesota Lynx.
For sure.
Good problems.
For sure.
And those are certainly what that we're going to be looking at in terms of the teams that have kept it going through the first half. A team that maybe we were looking to see whether or not they can turn it around. How about the New York Liberty here, Andrea?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by the New York Liberty. I mean, you talk about talent, you talk about size, they have experience. What they have not had is health. I mean, they've had so many different players in and out of the lineup. All the teams that you all just mentioned, they've had synergy, they've had chemistry on both sides of the floor. New York hasn't had the opportunity to get any kind of chemistry because they haven't been healthy.
You know what should have been the catalyst, right? Winning the Commissioner's Cup. Instead, they sort of went up and down. What should be a catalyst? JJ winning All-Star Game MVP. All right, maybe they'll use some of that to fuel the second half of the season.
Well, we're going to see.
Since we're here, one last team I think is worth noting, Atlanta. I think you gotta keep it. Yeah, Dre, your hometown. I think you gotta keep it higher in Atlanta. I had the chance to talk to Angel Reese this weekend, and I said the Atlanta Dream will achieve their goals if what happens. She says if we stay together, we have everything we need to be successful this year.
There is no shortage of storylines here in the second half of the WNBA season. We can't wait to watch all of them alongside with all of you. This weekend has been so much fun, my friends. We all got to get back. We got a Women's Sports Sunday show to get on, so we're going to see you there later on Sunday evening.
In the meantime, let's update. And it comes from my happy place, River Field. Savannah Bananas taking on the firefighters. And that is Thomasine Nichols, Rookie of the Year. Cameron Bowengartner going home from the bleachers. By the way, that was good. Also, that was Carrie Wood, former toss pitcher. Should be calling the Rockets for that. Behind the back, they for a strike.
now